Hmm. Morning, Kathleen. Gary.
Hi, Colleen. Good to see you. And
Good to see you too.
Good morning.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and get, so if you are in the meeting, I'll say this again later, but please put your name in the chat so that I can get you in the minutes. And I'm looking at participants, so I can usually catch a lot of you just by your participant list. I see Bill. Who is Bill?
University City. Okay.
Bill Coleman. Thank you.
We've only got about 1 minute left, but I'm hoping that some more people show up. We're a little light on the ground today.
We are.
Here we go. Here's some more.
Yeah, but so far nobody from the state library is here or Jane. So,
I think we'll give it just another minute.
now they're still joining at a little kind of a hefty clip here.
Okay.
Well, I say that and then nobody else joins.
Oh, Marianne said it's Lincoln's birthday and some offices close.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard that the state library was closed today and I wondered why. And it's like, okay, it's Lincoln's birthday. So I didn't expect Corey or Terry today. So
Okay.
I didn't find that out till Tuesday, so.
Well, maybe we'll just go ahead and get started. Colleen will continue to watch and see if anyone asks to come in. So I'm going to call this meeting to order at 10:02. Welcome to the February Missouri Evergreen General Membership Meeting. We haven't seen each other since December. I hope everybody had a good holiday, a good snowstorm, a good all of the things. Right now, last week it's tropical weather, so who knows what's going on? It's been strange. I do need an approval of those December meetings that was in the membership meeting packet. Motion, anyone?
I'll make the motion.
Katie,
I'll second Carrie.
all in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. We're going to move right along to the executive board report. We have two things. The bylaws, the board has been, we've met several times since the membership has met. We did some bylaw revision that the board accepted at the last meeting. Colleen, do you want to talk about that? You're muted.
Sorry. I was trying to share my screen real quick and all of a sudden did I close that window out? I didn't think I did. So let me see if I can get my screen to share correctly.
Special shout out to Katie from CAPE who worked on these bylaws and kind of got them in ship shape for us to discuss and vote on.
Let's see, bylaws revision. Let's see. And let me admit some people here. Katie, can you talk about it since I'm still admitting a lot of people?
Absolutely. Okay, so most of this was just making sure that we were in line with what our actual practice has been. So the first chunk you'll see with edits is 4.1, and it's changing the executive committee comprised of, instead of 5, we moved that to 6, and that was to allow for the position of immediate past treasurer. Shannon has been serving as treasurer and has now moved into the past treasurer role, with me taking over as treasurer. And so we just wanted to make sure that our bylaws matched that practice. And so 4.1.2 is adding the name of immediate past treasurer, as is all of the rest of the sections. Now, the other part that this mattered about is whether the immediate past president and immediate past treasurer had voting rights when they're serving on the board. So we did add a line in there talking about that the immediate past president and immediate past treasurer, so we're looking at 4.4 here, that those positions serve as ex officio non-voting officers unless they are serving out a term of being a regular board member. Very confusing, but it can happen. So we wanted to make sure that if they are just serving as an immediate past position and not technically a board member, that they would not have a board vote. They would just be there for advisory capacity. But if they do also have time left on their board term, because again, you're appointed to the board, and then the board appoints you to the president, vice president, executive roles. And so if they're still serving a board term, then they would still have a vote on the board. So that's what 4.4 is addressing. And then down on the line, it's same thing. It's just making sure that all the language matches with those changes. And then on down the line is where we change the dates for the chairs of the committees, which Colleen is scrolling for us to get to that, which is 5.3 and 5.4, which would be the circulation committee and the cataloging committee chair, just making sure that those dates, the term dates, match our fiscal year. Any questions?
I will say that this sending it out on email starts our 30-day period that we have for comments and questions. and then we'll put it out to a vote. After that 30 days, it'll be electronic vote to the director's list.
Does anyone have any questions for Katie or the board regarding these bylaw changes? Again, Katie, thank you for the work that, and Colleen for the work that you've put into this. Like Katie said, this is just kind of catching up our bylaws with what we do in practice. And we always want to have those things match up. So, all right. Another thing that the board has done this past month, this year so far, those of you that have been with us a while, you know the steps that Missouri Evergreen has taken. We were able to, we hired a consortium cataloger. We hired a executive director. And this last month, we were finally able to offer Missouri Evergreen's full-time staff a health reimbursement arrangement. So this is a huge step forward for Missouri Evergreen, and something that the board was very excited to be able to do for the consortium and of course for our full-time staff. If there's no questions for me, I mean, I'll be around, but let's go ahead and move on to Colleen's executive director report.
Okay. We actually are in the process of having 3 migrations right now. So 2 in April and 1 in May. Bonne Terre will go live April 2nd, Sedalia April 9th, and then Centralia on May 28th. They're all in the process of doing their weekly meetings and mapping their data and getting training for that. So we're very, very happy with that. To get them on board. Since our last meeting, we did finally get the new campaign for MessageBeat, which is our texting service. And those that were our 10 troubled libraries got moved over to the new campaign. And it seems to really have helped with our failure rates and our spam that we were getting. Now we're averaging a 95% success rate on things going out. The text is actually reaching our patrons, which is what we really need. So knock on wood, throw salt over your shoulder, all those things that this is actually going to work, because we do not want to go back to having spam problems. I'm happy to report that seems to be working. Okay, now we come to what is one of my pet projects, which is as a director, whenever I was a director, I absolutely hated the PLS circulation report. When you would do the report on Missouri Evergreen, it would give you thousands of shelving lists, and you had to try to figure out whether they matched the 4 categories that were available. Oh, hang on, I got somebody waiting on my room. Let me admit somebody. The 4 categories that were required in the public library survey, and that was adult, children, young adult, and other. So working with both Corey and with Equinox on the best way to handle this, I created 4 consortium level group shelving locations. And every 5,000 plus shelving location within Missouri Evergreen were put in these 4 categories. Equinox then created a report. It's actually live and it is in the PLS folder right now on the Missouri Evergreen report, CERC by consortium level group shelving locations. They also created 2 extra reports, scripts that get emailed to me monthly, which is to keep us accurate as we go through this. And it is shelving locations not put in a group, because we know and that you guys are autonomous and that you add and subtract shelving locations at any time. That's fine. As we migrate libraries, they will be adding shelving locations. Well, the report isn't accurate unless every shelving location is put in a group. And so the other one they will do is shelving locations in 2 or more groups because they're little checkbox that I have to check. And sometimes I have checked them on both sections. So it's a way to keep me from making mistakes. So when you run this report, you will come up with 4 numbers. Not a big long report. It's just a 4-number thing, and it will tell you how many adult circulation, how many children, how many teens, and how many others. I have started testing this report. I've asked libraries for what they turned in their previous PLSs and compared it to with the reports number I'm getting. On average, most of them were within 1% of what they had reported to their PLS. I will be reporting on this at the user conference, and but it is live. You can play around with it now. Let me let somebody in here. And so I'm hoping that this will eliminate some of our headaches when it comes to public library survey. And no, I can't fix everything. I mean, there's tons of questions on the public library survey, and this is just one little tiny part, but hopefully it will help. Talking about the user conference, we have begun, Liz and I both have been working, especially Liz, on the bare bones site of the Odoo. Registration has begun. I think we have about 45 registrations for our user conference, which is April 24th at Columbia. It is a free conference. Your lunch will be provided. We have a discounted rate at Stony Creek if Conference Center if you would like to book a room. I think it's $99 to book a room, so it's a very good conference to attend, and it is one that I think of the conferences that you can send your staff to, this is a very economical one and a good one to send staff. We haven't quite finished all of the presentations as far as who's doing what and when and their times and all of that. But we've got how to do a nonfiction age evaluation using Evergreen, PLS shelving groups reporting, which is mine. Mary Emmerich and the CAN committee is doing an after the mentor. We've got one on Aspen, unlocking Aspen. We've got one on basic report cloning and template and searching in folders. And we've got cataloging is doing an Ask Me Anything. Equinox will be there putting on and so will Mala. And I've got a couple others that didn't make this list. So there will be a lot of things for libraries to go to. So please register. And if you've not registered, the information, you can either send me the information is on the website in our MEC calendar. You can click on the calendar link for April 24th, and it will give you all the information on how to register. Aspen, we have 6 libraries set to go with Aspen this spring. So we'll have 6 more libraries getting the Aspen, let's see, Trails, Neosho, Carthage, Morgan County, Webster, and then Sedalia will be getting Aspen upon migration. That discovery layer is a good discovery layer. Hopefully we'll have 5 more that will volunteer to go in the fall. So that will put us up to about 27 of our libraries that are on Aspen. So it's getting to be a good amount of our libraries, close to a third. Just a reminder, Evergreen will be upgrading to 3.15 the evening of February 25th after all your libraries have closed. There should be no downtime for you guys. I did send out an email to the general membership today to let you know that you can take a class by Equinox, a free webinar on all the different features that will be different in 3.15. I encourage you to register to do so. And the good news, LSTA funding, yay. Thank you, federal government, for finally getting all that passed. So it is going to be available for next year. So the grant to Missouri Evergreen and the grant to migrating libraries will be available. So if you know of any libraries that are non-MEC members that have been sitting on the fence, wondering whether to join or not because of funding uncertainties next year, I would love to have a discussion with them on what Missouri Evergreen can offer them and hopefully get us some libraries lined up for next year. And I think that's all that I had on the director's report. Any questions for me?
That is great news about LSTA funding. There was lots of great, everybody was very happy about your project, Colleen, with the shelving locations. I know that it's going to be a real help when it comes to that time in the fall. And then I wanted to point out that in the chat, someone asked, since we were talking about the PLS, if there was any news on the PLS platform and any changes that we can expect. Because of course we know that Baker and Taylor, which is where we all submitted the PLS stuff, is no longer a thing.
I talked to Corey a couple weeks ago about the PLS, and he is working on getting this year's stuff published because he hasn't quite got all that. He's waiting on the final edits and documents to get this year's information published. And as far as PLS next year, he wasn't sure at the time of what's going to be happening with it.
Well, Heather, who I don't think is Heather, said that they're looking at options and starting the bid process for the PLS platform.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I am Heather. I'm working from home today because we're closed and I'm using my wife's tablet and I didn't.
Oh, okay. And that's why I was like, I didn't.
I apologize. Yeah.
Actually, because you're on holiday today, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So yes. Now, Bibliostat does still exist. They're under a new management now, so someone did buy them out. So it is possible there will be no change, but we're not sure because we have some other platforms we're bidding out for, and we haven't got a full price for them. So yeah, that's where we are on that process.
Well, thank you, Heather.
Okay. Let's move on to the financial report. I know that I believe Kristen's here, but Katie?
Yes, good morning again. Okay, so Colleen's got the copy of the financials up. So you can see that this is our balance sheet. So we've got just shy of 600,000 showing up on our accounts there. And then if you want to scroll to the next page, this is our profit loss. You can see that we didn't bring in a lot of money in January, but that's pretty usual. So we just have our interest income coming in, but obviously money going out on a monthly basis. So our net profit for our net operating income is obviously in the negative, but again, that's to be expected this time of year. Then we get into our budget document, and here you can see the individual for the income. We're right along where we need to be. The only thing outstanding on our income is obviously a second grant from a payment from the state library, and also the authority control. So just a reminder that you will be charged for the authority control, but that happens later on in the year. And then for our expenses, again, just things. Regular monthly costs of what we pay in order to operate. So we're right where we need to be in terms of money. And if you have any outstanding bills that you owe us, please pay them, just so that we can keep track of everything. And I think that's it. There are some other documents in the financial in the folder, if you are so inclined to look at those, but it is like the bank statements and then also the packet from Brookmont, which is where the money is invested. So you can look at those individual documents if you'd like. Any questions?
Thanks, Katie. Kristen, did you have anything you wanted to add? Kristen from Amigos?
Yeah, the only other thing is that there will be a little bit more membership income coming in for the new members that are migrating in. Those will be prorated amounts, and then the folks that are adding on the Aspen Discovery layer will be, billed for that also at a prorated amount. So there will be a little bit more for the membership dues as well coming in. But most of the membership dues come in at the beginning of the fiscal year, and then it's Katie mentioned, yeah, the authority control all comes in at the very end of the year.
Thanks for that, Kristen. We're going to move on to committee reports. First up, we've got Sarah with the cataloging committee.
Hi. So at our last meeting, we met on the 9th. We discussed the upcoming Evergreen upgrade, and in particular for catalogers, we kind of want to encourage people to check out the test server and the new Angular record buckets because they look pretty different. So you might want to go in and play with them if you have a chance. The deduplication subcommittee has met with Rogan from Equinox twice to work on the parameters for the project. In particular, right now, he's working on parsing author names to facilitate better matches. He's also working on DVD matches using the 700 fields. And so overall, the project is going well, and we hope for it to be completed by April 2nd. Liz wanted to remind everybody again about the regional training. Topics will include the recent changes to the merge rules, and other frequent questions. If you have any additional ideas for topics, you can email those to Liz so we can be sure to cover them. The dates are March 6th at West Plains, March 13th at Livingston County, March 20th at Trails Regional, April 3rd at Scenic Regional, and May 8th at Cedar County. So if you'd like to show up for those trainings, please sign up. We'd love to see you there. So representatives from cataloging and circulation both met with Jennifer Weston from Equinox to create a timeline for the permission structure project to move forward. We are moving ahead with the project, and the new structure should be available on the test server the 18th of this month. And the go live date we're looking at is the 16th of March. And just one last thing, a gentle reminder about listserv etiquette. We really want the cataloging listserv to be like a friendly, welcoming place. So, please just try to keep it polite. And if you have a thing where you have a question or you're not sure, maybe two people both have a question, you can email the committee, you can email Liz, you can email myself. Feel free to ask questions. Thanks. Anybody have any questions?
Liz, before we move on, since the membership hasn't met since the committee passed those new merge rules, can you just give a quick overview for the membership of what those are and why we decided to do that?
Yes. So basically, we had somebody several someones. It's been like an ongoing thing about expanding the merge rules. We like to look at the rules every now and then, so this didn't come out of the blue. But basically, the old merge rules were very what's the word I'm looking for? They were tight. They were like just these very specific things. So we've expanded them to be 20 pages now that books can be different. These are specifically books. And 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters, guys. I forgot. I don't remember these off the top of my head. Kate, this is why you shouldn't ask me random stuff.
I'm sorry. I believe it's 5.
5. There we go. See, here we are. Okay. But basically, we're really trying to focus on content of things. We want more things to go in the same record so that when patrons go to look in the catalog, they aren't finding, like 15 different records for one item. They're maybe finding 4 with all different formats. So we will be talking about those at the regional trainings because obviously I need to have them put into my brain permanently also. So.
All right, thanks, Sarah and Liz. Circulation, Rhonda?
Hi, good morning. Wanted to talk a little bit more about the permission project that Sarah mentioned. We have been working on this for 2 years in the background, and so it's a very happy thing for me to think about actually getting to the end of it. So in the packet, I listed all the changes that are happening as a result of this. And this was, like Sarah said, cataloging, and I and Jennifer Weston from Equinox were the ones that were kind of putting together this end move finally. Yay. So all of the circulator and circulation administrator accounts are going to be moved to the new default permission that we have selected. All the cataloging accounts are moving into their new permission tree. And I know nothing about that, but Liz has has gone over that, and it's to line up with basically what levels of cataloging you have passed in Missouri Evergreen. So the rest of them is basically cleaning up the permission tree, taking things out that are not used, and repositioning outreach. It was kind of just an outlier, and now it's going to be put under the patrons. So, like Sarah said, the changes are going to happen on February 18th in the test server. I think that means that you'll be able to see them the 19th. So I think it'll happen the evening of the 18th. You'll be able to see them on the 19th. And then that gives us a month to kind of just check and make sure everything is what we want before it goes live. So I've included a list of the changes to both circulators and circulation admin at the end of that circulation report, so you can see what we have modified. And hopefully this is going to get everybody back more on the same level playing field, which is what the executive board was kind of shooting for. So if you go, yeah, keep going down a little more, a little more, a little more. There you go. So these are the changes that have been requested from Equinox, and that's what will be going on to the test server. This will affect about 237, I think, user accounts, and across Missouri Evergreen, circulators and circulation admin people have 1,317 additional permissions granted to them. And so in this test environment, it's taking those away. Never fear, though, I have a list of what of what you have, and I will be sending that out to the directors so that our hope is you would take a look at some of those permissions and see, are we actually using this permission or not? And if you're not, then when we move to the new, it'll just be gone. If it is something that you're using, again, it's worth considering. If it's just one loan permission that you're adding, that's one thing. But if you're adding a lot of extra permissions, perhaps you need to add a secondary permission group as opposed to just picking and choosing, I want this one and this one and this one. So hopefully you can use that month then between when we go to the test server and when we go live to kind of make those choices. So that is that. We also have a survey out. It was sent to circulation, all the circulation contacts. It is up through tomorrow concerning probationary patron groups and the how long the account would be good for. So questioning, would you prefer 30, 60, 90? Do you want to stay as it is? Are your permissions controlled by your board? All of those kinds of things so that we just haven't looked at it for a while, and there was request to possibly change it. So we wanted to get some feedback. Again, that will be up through tomorrow. So if you have, I think there's 37 maybe libraries that have replied. We would love to hear from all of you on that. So any questions?
Rhonda, for the minutes, what is the go live date for the permissions change?
March 16th. So they would do it the evening of the 16th, and I believe it would be in effect the 17th.
And that was on the test server or live to the group normally?
That's okay. Test server is February 18th.
Okay, I had that wrong. Thank you.
February 18th, and then production would be March 16th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. A completion of a 2-year project is, as you know, definitely an opportunity for celebration. You all have put in a lot of time with that, and we really appreciate it. Okay, next we have reports. Heather.
Hi. So I'm Heather Arnold, and I'm the new chair of the reports committee. And I don't think Tony is here with us, but I think everyone would like to go on record and thank him for his very capable and patient leadership of the committee for many years. Luckily, we are not losing his expertise. He is staying on as a member of the committee. We have decided to create a new email address, which I am putting in chat. It is reportshelp@moevergreenlibraries.org. And if you have a report topic you'd like to discuss, please feel free to email the reports listserv. But if you want specific help with a specific report, email the help email. It is a distribution list that goes to several members of the committee so that we can look at specific problems together. I think it can be a little bit daunting to email a list of dozens of people when you're having a problem that is probably very specific to your exact report. So please feel free to use that. Our next meeting is actually today at 2 p.m. and everyone is welcome. We are going to be looking at the presentation that we're putting together for the user conference and a couple of templates that we have put together in response to the report survey that most folks filled out at the end of the year. So yeah, thank you very much. I think that's all, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you so much, Heather. That reports help email was a great idea, and you are so right that sometimes it's a little daunting to email a whole group of people. So, and I feel like also it's giving an individual person permission to ask for one-on-one help from you guys, you know, instead of, I always felt like I was bothering people if I needed something specific. So you guys are doing great things. We appreciate it. CAN committee, I didn't see Leanne here. I know that Mary Kay is here though.
Hey, I'm going to pop on here while you're waiting for her. This is Terry, the secretary. I am short about 10 people in my registry of who's here. So if you are on the meeting, please put your name in the chat so that I can capture that. Thanks. Sorry for that interruption.
This is Mary Kay. Leanne, are you going to speak or am I? As you can tell, I'm moving again today. I will go ahead and address the CAN committee, Colleen. Consortium Advisory Network, Consortium Assistance Network, completed the administration manual, the local admin manual, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback about it. If you have any issues with it, please let us know, because we're starting the update to go with 3.15 so that we can keep that manual as current as the version of Evergreen that we're all using. We are working on a glossary that we plan to have to the executive board in April. And that glossary is Missouri specific. It defines Evergreen terminology, but it also describes Missouri specific Evergreen terminology. We will be presenting at user conference, and we spent yesterday at our meeting discussing our presentation and some different ideas. So that's CAN. We are working well with Our migrations, Sedalia and Bonne Terre, are right on track, and so everything's going well.
Great. Thank you, Mary Kay, for that update. I don't think Mary or Jane is from Mala is here. So we will move along to the state library. Oh, Heather's not Heather anymore. He's Corey.
Heather's not Heather anymore. He's Corey. So yes, Colleen mentioned a lot of the things off the top of the meeting. I really want to thank her for working on getting all of those shelving locations for the PLS. That's going to be huge for you all, I think, and that was a really big project for her. So thanks for doing that, Kathleen. That helps us all out, I think. As for the PLS, there was a question. Like I said, we don't know much about this point, but I don't think there will be major changes to at least the meat of the survey, the questions that are going to be asked. So all of the circulation and collection will be exactly the same as before. With all the MLS upheaval, there's been no federal changes, really, so there's no need to worry for any of that. As Colleen also said, we do have our LSTA funding now. We have our allocated amount, so we know how much we're spending. So we are putting together our project proposals, we're putting together our budget, and we're working with Colleen to figure out what we need to put in for migrations and what we need to put in for support funding and all of that. So that will be an ongoing process, but like Colleen mentioned, if you know anybody that wants to migrate, let them know, because now's the time we need to know who we're doing. With that, we have hired a new consultant here at the State Library. She's mostly taken over what Janet was doing. But not all of Janet's responsibility. So I will still be the liaison for Missouri Evergreen, but she will be handling migration grants going forward. So there's a little bit of a difference there. And if you all do tech grants or anything like that, she's the person that's going to be taking over those as well. One other thing we're working on over here is it is budget time. Secretary Hoskins did present the budget to the legislature last week. With that, he had asked for the full ask for athletes and entertainers funds, which go to support library collections. The governor has requested that the legislature actually have those funds. So that will be a conversation going forward. They're still in the budgetary process. But as of right now, it looks like there could be about a 50% decrease in athletes and entertainers tax funds for the next year. And where that affects all of you is, well, it really affects all of you because that's your overall budget, that's your collections budget, but that's also going to be amplified across the organization. So collections growth will likely be much lower overall for the state of Missouri, for all the libraries, if that were to happen. I know MLA is working on some advocacy things and putting together some things to send to local reps and things like that. So you probably be hearing from them more on that, but I just wanted to give you all a heads up if you hadn't heard that information. And I think that's about all we've got going on, but it's enough.
Thank you, Corey. Anybody have any questions for Corey? Okay, we're going to move on to other matters. I did just want to remind everybody that we are upgrading the Evergreen software February 25th, the evening of February 25th, I believe. Is that correct? Colleen, Liz, thank you for the nods. Yes. So when you come in on the February the 26th, it will be a new Evergreen. Like Sarah mentioned in her report, and I know that Rhonda has urged her CERC people, please go play in the test server. It has been updated to 3.15.4. I don't know, whatever point something, but the new version is on the test server, and we encourage you to go just do some of your everyday activities, your tasks that you do in Evergreen, to see if anything looks any different or has changed.
Kate,
Yes.
do we need to vote on the financials?
Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yes, we will go back to the financial report that Katie went over. Could I have a motion to approve that financial report?
I will move. Brett
Stu
Carter.
Lightfoot. Yep, Stu Lightfoot seconds.
All in favor? Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Who
Keeping
made
us,
the motion on that? I missed totally that we didn't do that. Who was the motion?
Gary motioned and Sue seconded. Not Gary, Greg. My goodness, I'm sorry.
I was going, Gary? Who's Gary?
All right. One more call for other matters. 42-minute meeting, probably really only 40 minutes. We did great. I will adjourn the meeting at 10:42. Before you leave, if you haven't put your name in chat, please do so, or Terry's gonna try to come after you.
Should we motion?
All right.
to adjourn?
Yeah, I need a
Have a good
motion
day.
to adjourn. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
And second, Kathleen Gallagher seconds.
Okay. We don't.
Kathleen was second. And who was the motion?
What was it, Greg again?
Sure, I'll motion. I'll second.
Okay. I'll work it out between the two of you.
Awesome.
Oh, goodness. We're doing all right over here in Missouri Evergreen, guys. Okay, we will see you guys April 9th. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.